Welcome to Poppet Radio, the only place to listen in to mysterious tales and wondrous adventures of Poppets growing up in the Plague Poppet Orphanarium.
Human?
Yes, Poppet?
I think all humans should know we're only 6 inches tall.
That's what makes you a small and mighty friend.
I'm Preston.
And I'm Franklin.
If you've ever wanted to know what life is like when you're only 6 inches tall, you've come to the right place. On today's episode, we find out what happens when Preston goes to therapy, the downright ridiculous homespun epic contents of his therapy journal, and whether or not jellyfish can sing.
Hey, Preston, what are you doing?
I was having a bad week, and I was feeling really complicated. And so my therapist suggested I start a therapy journal.
Oh, well, what's in it?
A whole bunch of drawings of my complications and some words.
Wait, so you went to therapy?
Mm-hmm. My peebs made a cardboard cutout of a Poppet and told me it was a therapist.
How long did you talk to it before you figured out it was cardboard?
Yeah,
okay.
I was like, man, this character is a good listener. And then I sneezed and it fell over, and then I cat out of the bag. Kind of had a wistful look on its face that didn't ever change. Like it was sort of loved me, but maybe was thinking about something else. Like most therapists, I suppose.
Well, did you still get a therapeutic effect from it?
Yeah,
Well, can I see what's inside your therapy journal?
sure. Let's start with the pickle people.
Oh, excellent.
These particular pickle people, they have on hats and sweaters, of course, because, you know, they're very respectable pickles. And he's got these huge headphones, and one hand is in the pocket, casually, and the other hand's pointing right to the headphones, and the caption is, "I can't hear you." You ever felt like that?
Oh, yeah, because you're in the middle of good tunes.
Yeah.
Good vibes, you're not leaving.
You just gotta shut the world out
Exactly.
completely. And then over here, there's a guy, another pickle guy. It looks like kind of Elvis hair, a little bit. And he's wearing a super suit. And the caption is, "Sometimes a super suit." Because, you know, maybe every day, sometimes there's a time in the day that you want to be super.
You don't have to tell me I've often wanted a super suit. You never can tell what's going to happen.
And then another caption is, "Gotta stick together," and it's a pickle person with a whole bunch of little pickles kind of holding on to the one pickle.
That's like a possum mom.
That's kind of what I feel like Poppets are. Sometimes we kind of clump up when we're in danger. So some of these drawings are a little darker.
Yeah, what's that one?
That's what I like to call Futility Gulch.
Futility Gulch, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's the place you end up when there's nowhere to go, or you've given up before you even bothered to try. Oh, there's a little sign there pointing to it in case you forgot how to get there. What do you think that means, cardboard therapist? Got your work cut out for you? But things perk up a little bit, and there's some other abstracted figures. These guys are just hanging out. And then there's one called Abstract Figure Being Inconsolable, and there's this character lying fruitlessly on a little bed. And then in the back, there's another little guy looking on, like, "What's the problem, sire?" And then below that, there's other abstracted figures, and this one's called Abstracted Figure Finding a Spot. And he's bent way down looking at a spot on the other abstracted figure. They found it, evidently. Well, I don't know exactly how you're going to feel about my mental health after this little story. It's a existentialist rabbit drama. And here is a drawing of a very elegant rabbit standing on her back paws, and she's asking, "Why are we here?" And one particularly buck-toothed rabbit, looking pretty perky, says, "Carrots." And another rabbit says, "For sure, carrots." And then another one says, "Turnips, maybe?" And it looks like a scene change here, and the elegant rabbit is standing there wearing a very large sweater with a sizable patch of the earth sewn on the chest. And some derpy rabbit points rudely at the earth patch on the sweater and says, "What's that?" And cut to the elegant rabbit staring pensively over a brick wall. And down here we see the words, "Based on the sheer complexity of her thoughts, Preston Paisy Poppy Palmer," I guess that's her name, "felt alone. Her confidence in her fellow mammals was eroding. What was a rabbit to do?" And here she is sitting at a bar, her little paws around a big cup of whiskey. I've never had whiskey, but humans seem to think that it solves their existential problems, so I thought maybe I would draw it out.
This kind of just goes right along with my prior picture of you.
Okay, that's good. You don't think I'm a complete weirdo.
Well, yes, I do, but we haven't gone off a cliff. Steady decline.
Right into futility gulch.
Yeah, oh, I hope not.
I hope not too. Oh, here's a bunch of words.
Whoa, that is a lot of words. What do they mean?
I don't know. Oh, wait. It's a story.
Oh, that's fantastic.
This is a story about King Herbert. There's a drawing here of Herbert. He's standing there kind of waving at you like, "Hi." Anyway, here's the story. Dis Herbert, he king. Sometimes he was just a guy loving his Cheerios. Other times he was that guy who stared into the sky. Much of the time, he was the guy who really loved books. But most of the time, Herbert was bored. Bored of being king, bored of stuff and things and birds and people and windows and apples and tables and wigs and his very own royal beanbag. When Herbert drew a drawing, he held it up to the people and they said, "Brilliant, a masterpiece, diabolically interesting." And Herbert thought, "So boring." One day, on an especially boring stroll, Herbert came across a tent by a tree. How dare they, Herbert thought. I will have them arrested. Pretty soon, a mole comes strolling by. "This your tent?" asked Herbert. "It is not," decided the mole, even though it was. "You are under arrest," said Herbert. "I will put handcuffs on you," which he did, but they fell right off because the mole had such tiny paws. "You are my prisoner," proclaimed Herbert. "I will put you in a tall tower with nothing to do but to talk to ants." "Fascinating," said the mole. "Your whiskers will grow so long, no one will recognize you." "Wonderful," said Mole. "You will be forgotten and turned to dust," said Herbert. "You will sing songs, but no one will hear them." "Fabulous," said the mole. Herbert was starting to have fun. "You will try to escape, but you will fall into a hole where no one will find you." Nothing seemed to faze the mole. "I love it," she said. "What is your name?" asked Herbert. "I will need to know what to put on your gravestone." "Miss Mole," said the mole. And that was how King Herbert made his very first real actual friend, and he was never bored again.
Yeah!
Woo! You know, the best person to talk to about therapy is your shadow. Not Sir Wodash. Hey, Not Sir... Oh, there you are. How do you think I did in therapy today?
Well, I was particularly impressed with your conceptualization of both nature versus nurture and the paradox as it relates to the pathology of your personality projection, as well as your self-actualization of the superego.
So, it went well?
It was a good start. Way to be vulnerable.
How do you know all this, Not Sir?
I like to study you while you sleep.
Hey, Not Sir, do you have bad dreams?
I have this dream that's eternally cloudy, and you're never going to see me again.
That's a terrible dream. I would miss you so much. You know, I've had this recurring dream of jellyfish floating outside my window, just floating and staring and floating and staring, and then they sing.
What do they sing?
Would you love to watch you while you're sleeping?
How do you know what they sound like?
Everybody knows that's what jellyfish sound like.
Yeah, of course. Duh.
All right, gang. What did we learn today?
Well, I learned that your shadow always has your back.
Yeah, you do. I learned that Notserp knows all about my head world.
I mean, talking with Notserp really shows me that I have a lot to learn. Shadows know a lot.
I learned that it doesn't matter if your therapist is real or not, as long as they're a good listener.
Definitely.
And also that drawing pictures makes me less mad.
Oh, that's important.
Yeah.
We don't want you mad.
No, he wouldn't like me when I'm mad. I stole that from the Hulk. Brought to you by Bejesus Jeans, the bewildering, bedazzled, come to Jesus Jean.
Join us next time for a glamp out in the Rompus Room, where the Poppets consult a Ouija board and have a go at communicating with dead people through a gramophone.
Bye. We love you. Goodbye.